2. Citizen Sleeper. Hope all are doing well on this Thursday afternoon. I looked in my closet and found out that I had a shirt that was very similar to everyone's favorite shit-heel bounty hunter that's tracking us down and extorting us for money. So I decided to wear that for today. Alrighty. Well, I think with that, let's get on into it. Okay. One upgrade point. I think I'm going to hold on to it for the time being. Maybe I'll buy off I'll buy off the penalty to endure, I think. Scrap freighters here, could buy some scrap. Oh no, I don't have any money right now. That's silly. I don't have any money and I don't have any dice. Everything is terrible. But... oh, I didn't switch to the game cam. God damn it. Well, that's fine. Oops. Still don't know where to take things gift box or gumbox. Alright, I think it's time to slot the navigator into access mainframe A1. Let's find this weird dog. Slot navigator, and the clamps lock. Ship mind is stuck. How are you going to get them out of this thing? You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigator is beside you, their sphere casing light into the strange darkness here. A little loud on mine. That's good. Navigator is beside you, their sphere casting light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. A center, a point of connection. The object in front of you is severed, cut off, a rootless, branchless tree. Only the trunk remains. It's dead. Quiet, Navigator hisses, and then you see it, like a blade in the dark. An edge slicing through the void. It glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it appears again elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. It's looking for us. The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer, and you see now it is not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head like a shark. It glides past, closer now, and you see into the voids where its eyes should be, would be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move close to Navigator to talk. You saw it too then. Killer has been blinded. How? Unclear. This protocol has been running for decades, well past its operational limit. Navigator's sons dull as they drop their voice to a whisper. This may give us an advantage over the protocol. You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you, its empty sockets open wide. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. Their orrery of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on a central point. Navigator is noticing it too. They go to shift their position, to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the orrery together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic. Get out! You go to speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap, and Navigator freezes. You see them framed in the empty socket. You realize now, if Navigator cannot move, then it is only a matter of time before one of Killer's sweeps bring them directly through Navigator. And time is not a problem for a protocol that's been running for decades. You look desperately around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches. The last 3, thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of power and data. Break these, and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, they must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking, and then you blink back to reality, their expression of fear, an afterimage that slowly fades. You must act quickly. Pardon me. New drive. Okay. 1 key. 2 keys. Three keys. Okay, so I need 1 more key. This controller protects the last spindly branches feeding into the mainframe. Unlock access, and you might be able to break them. Breaking the branches means unlocking access at each of the 3 terminals. This needs to be done fast. This branch has been unlocked. This branch has been unlocked. And the last key node, I need a 6 or a 3. Okay. Managed to mute myself that time. Okay. Back down. I don't have enough time to do it today, so back to the shipping crate. I'll need to get food before today is out, too. I'm starving now. I needed a 3 or a 6, I believe. I got 44424. Oh, Rabia wants to speak to us too. Excellent. Those don't change daily by any chance. Sure don't. Reroll to 66146. Throw a 6 in there though. This node connects to a remote array. It buzzes as it picks up the drive signatures of passing ships. Now the final key. Ah, I see. With access to the branches, you could redirect them to form a loop, isolating the mainframe with Killer inside, but freeing Navigator, in theory. Forget hacking the system. Killer has to die. So that's faster, but we're worse at it. I'm gonna try to loop the branches, because I've got some 6s I'm sitting on here. You bend one of the branches like a hazel twig, aligning the flow away from the mainframe and into another branch. Let's try our... Perfect. The branches are brittle, hard to control, but you manage to shift them closer to a looped formation. Perfect. As you blink into the cloud, you see the last flickers of life from the mainframe. This vast machine once ran the whole station, span it up, directed and processed the flow of energy, water, and data, fed the lives of thousands of people. Now, it is finally dead. Navigator is beside you, and you both look out at the perfect ring that encircled you both, woven from the data branches that once fed the mainframe. You see a glint along its edge, and the familiar blade-like head rises to the surface like the cresting fin of a shark, and then slips into the loop again. All that you can see of Killer's body after that is a slight thickening of the loop, and that thickening begins to travel around on a long and slow sojourn that will last it forever. "I am surprised at you," says Navigator, drifting faintly around you in a lazy orbit as if to shake off their imprisonment. "Killer had been wandering blind for so long. Did you not think to end them forever?" "I pity them. Perhaps they can be saved, or I will not kill another being. Perhaps they can be saved. Maybe repurposed." "You are naive. They are a killer by nature. Look at what they did to their own home." Navigator gazes into the darkness. "This place was their domain and prison, and they had followed their directives for the many decades they roamed here. They cut the threads of mainframe, executed its administrator AIs, and then kept slicing. At some point, they cut away their own ability to see, to sense, to taste, to speak. And yet they kept cutting until only those 3 threads remained from millions that once thrummed here. Only their blindness and the chance kept them from making those final 3 fatal cuts. There is a ceaseless violence in the kind of system that creates beings like this, those that will execute commands endlessly, even to their own destruction. Navigator looks to you for your thoughts. Their sentience should be respected. So be it, but would they respect our rights equally? Navigator turns away. You watch the data points of the station spin around you, blending with the fixed stars. There is something satisfying about finally wrenching the last threads of control from this central point. It was little more than a ghost by the time you reached it, but this place deserves to be haunted by better ideas than a totalizing system of control. Hey Danny, what's up? Welcome in. We just trapped a lethal rogue antivirus program in a perpetual loop that will cause it to be blind, deaf, and starving forever. And I think that was the merciful thing to do. Because, I guess, I don't know, I did it because I had a better die roll. Navigator floats beside you. It is free now. This station no longer presents a hazard for illegal entities like me. They turn to you, their face a cloud of shimmering light. In fact, in time, perhaps it can be a refuge. A refuge. That sounds like something of value, something worth building. A dark shape passes across your vision, a distant curve of something like smoke or oil, a fluid, shifting tank of total darkness. The Greenway, says Navigator, following your line of sight. It was cut off at the moment of the collapse, so Hunter or Killer could never reach it. Now it is closed off to us, separated from the cloud. What system is inside it? It may be totally dark, or perhaps some other old protocols are isolated there. Navigator turns to you. And we have now seen what decades of isolation can do to a protocol. If we could extract an access cipher. They pause and then blink out of existence. You freeze, shocked, but a moment later they reappear with a glowing polygon of data. Here, the cipher you need. You take it, still shocked. I am not used to being free, to being able to move, explore, and extract without fear, without limits. Navigator does a little twirl. This will take some getting used to. Thank you for this gift. They whirl their spheres around you. The entities of this station will always be friends to you, Sleeper, and I to them. It is true that mutual need is required for friendship, but I must admit that I had not considered the value of offering assistance without personal gain. I will think on that. Navigator loops around you rapidly, suddenly eager to test their newfound freedom. But first, I will explore. Perhaps there are still intelligences that hid themselves as I did, encased in simple systems, cut off. Navigator glows. I should like to free them. And with that, they drift away, flickering, glowing, then shifting so rapidly, you lose sight of them among the glittering rim of the eye. You feel a pang of jealousy, free, without a body to weigh you down, or fear to limit you. How must it feel? Your eyes fall on the Greenway and its secrets, though perhaps that can wait until after you've celebrated this victory. Oh, does this mean I don't have to pay $150 to go to the Greenway? Or do I... Oh, man. I think I still have to pay $150. That sucks. Unless I can get there from the Ascender hub. No, because it's cut off from the hub. Ah, beans. I need money. And being extorted by an asshole. Time to go work for criminals. $150 can buy many greenways. Okay, I think step one is I need food. I am starving. I am no longer starving. Now, we go meet Rabia again. As you approach the address Rabia gave you, a heavy hand falls on your shoulder. What is your business here? The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving a hint of the strength her implants give her, as you turn to see the same subsidiary eyes as Rabia and Toshiro, glinting like mirrors on her cheeks. Gia, please. The sleeper here is here by my invitation. At Rabia's command, the hand immediately loosens, and an apologetic look replaces the scowl on Gia's face. Of course, Rabia. I'm sorry. Rabia waves her away. Don't you worry. I appreciate your protective instincts. She smiles at the enforcer. How about you head to the Tambor? They have a delivery coming, and they'll need some help with the lifting. Gia nods and walks away. So, Sleeper, you came. I'm glad. I was curious. Curious is good. She smiles a tight smile. You have to understand. Finding you there in Sabine's unit, I wasn't sure where we stood. There are more than a few people on this station who would rather I was dead. And I had to be sure you weren't one of them. Not yet. She laughs. I like your sense of humor. But let me ask you a serious question for a moment. Rabia begins walking and gestures for you to walk with her. She takes you down a staircase into the bustling walkways of the low end. What do you know about Yatagan? Honestly, I don't know much about Yatagan. Nothing. Come on, Sleeper, humor me. I know we have a reputation. People with carts push past, moving crates of supplies around the thin, winding passages. Our reputation is one that implies threat. Is that fair to say? We are framed as aggressors, parasites, criminals. She gestures around at the people in the passageways. But when was the last time you saw a lawmaker on the eye? A policeman? Who makes the laws here? No one. This is true. The eye is lawless. So it is up to us all to make it work for us. But I don't imagine you think that is a good thing. If you had spent your time in Low End, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The Low End was empty in Erlin's time. They didn't need to house thousands, and keeping the yards and the rotunda was safe work enough. Safe was work enough. No, the Low End was reclaimed later, when the refugees started arriving. Rabia meets your eyes. The collapse didn't just happen here on this station. When Solheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned. The moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage. Some tried to hold it together. Some fled. The Eye became a refuge, and Erlin, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone. But many within his organization disagreed, and those new arrivals weren't as simple to corral as they'd hoped. Rabia leads you through a small market hall, busy with small stalls and traders. Erlin's union was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable and already organized into hierarchies and networks. The refugees came from different factions and families, were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatagan is a child of that conflict, a child born out of the need for us to stand up and claim our future, to provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we are a community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth I have worked to earn it. Rabia catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while among the smells and textures of Low End. You start to wonder if this place could be a home for you, too. Where do I come into this? Rabia smiles to herself and thinks for a moment before she responds. I believe that you understand the importance of a refuge, so I also believe that you wish to help us keep this place safe. She exhales quietly. For this reason, I would like you to trust me. I do not know what Sabine told you about us, but I imagine it was not good. I will be honest with you, Sleeper. I was never comfortable with having Sabine as part of Yatagan. An ex-corporate employee? It goes against our nature. But their deal was with Yannick. I kept my distance, made sure Sabine had their surgery, kept it supplied, and that was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on the promises they made to us. Yatagan has not lasted this long because it is a charity. We offer and ask for support. Any betrayal will be treated as an attack. Who's Yannick? Yannick is one of the heads of Yatagan. They guide us. He is the newest to be elected. He is an elder. Sabine found something. Please, I don't want to hear their accusations. They only wanted to escape their debt. They would have said anything. But where are they now, to stand behind their claims? Stay silent. You realize that Rabia has led you in a loop, and together you both come back up a staircase to the walkway where you met. You are free to go, Sleeper. I've said what I wish to say. She looks out through the windows of the walkway. I would protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I want to make that clear. She turns back. However, if you too wish to come under its protection, I can help you. Return here if you wish, and there will be tasks for you to complete. You will be able to see Yatagan, to see the low end with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine, she pauses to consider her words. I will not ask you to betray them, but if they contact you again, consider their motivations carefully. With that, Rabia leaves, slipping back into her office while you stare out at the countless units, each a home, each with a story that make up the low end. Low end is cool. Okay. Control the ward. Should get me energy. I could collect items, which would give me scrap. Partway through this here in low end. This asshole is gonna keep extorting me, which sucks shit. I'm almost gonna get kicked out. I need spores. Ay, 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 ay. We are in a rough situation. I don't want to steal again because that'll set off the midline security clock, and I don't want to be arrested for crimes. I don't have any ship mine cores. Oh, she was saying something about low end having the timbre. I'm gonna try to learn more about low end, see if I can get more of that. If I can get in touch with Fang. Tambor Tea House, there we go. Awesome. Oh, and they're paying for Havenage data. I've got Havenage data. Please, God, pay me money for this. 10 cryo, that's something. I will happily sell my Havenage data. You feel stupid doing this, but the penguin says take me to Tambor, and this is the only Tambor you can find. The waitress looks at you with suspicion as you hand over the box. Is this the right place? As you go to leave the Tambor Tea House, a hand falls on your shoulder. Sleeper! Fang hisses from behind you. How did you find me? The penguin. Penguin? What are you? He thinks for a second. Oh, do you mean? He mimes throwing gum into his mouth. That wasn't meant for you specifically, but he cringes. Look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit. Feng guides you down a set of stairs to one of the Tambor's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines, all connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars. A conversation bounces busily off the metal walls. Feng sees you looking around. This place used to be a fuel tanker's main drum, hence the name. The tea house is a bit of a misnomer, though. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available. He picks a booth, itself fashioned from some old salvaged tank or container, lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively. Don't suppose you've seen any Havenage types? They don't usually come out this far. Feng, what's going on? Well, I'm suspended, that's the first thing, and the second thing is I'm pretty sure Hardin wants to drop me off the rim of the eye. He grins. Doesn't bother me, though. It shows we hit a nerve back there. He picks a scrappy hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? Hey, I left like 30 calling cards. Oh, you found the one I left for someone else? Cool. Awesome. Why are you so calm? You know any reason I shouldn't be? He leans in, suddenly concerned, then waves the idea away. Hold that thought. Let's order first. Feng is right. The menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out, but the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed without a price as a seasonal specialty. So you ran into Hardin? Was he pissed? Fang doesn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous, he might actually believe that Erlen would approve of his that Erlen might approve of his meritocratic bullshit. He taps on the table. If Havenage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared mention true citizens. He sighed, but I guess this kind run the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo snaking up her arm turns up at the booth, a slate in hand. Your order? You skim the menu, your eyes glazing over. Time to pick something. A sambar arak? Fang raises an eyebrow as she notes it. And you? She begins, looking to Fang, but when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the? Fang shrinks a little. You're supposed to be working! This is your shift! He grins sheepishly. Stay out of it. This is not my deal. Look, Jenna, let's just say this is my break. My friend here's been going through a lot. Jenna looks between the two of you. Cough. Jenna gives you a look like a hard vacuum. 2 minutes, says Jenna, pointing at Fang. And only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is. She gestures at the table and walks off. What? Fang stretches out in the booth. You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus, he leans in. This is the best place around here to find a person you might be looking for. Who? Remember that web of connections that Hardin pinged the moment we confronted him? Those are his collaborators. And if we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to on the Eye, those are the people we have to find. Fang is almost whispering now. There's a couple of them I suspect are in the low end, and, well, almost everyone in the low end comes through this place at one time or another. He brings a modified slate out onto the table. I've set this up so that when anyone with the network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity, it'll mark them. No, welcome in. Yeah, I love the character art design. I'll show you what our guy looks like immediately afterwards, but all of the characters have such character, for lack of a better word. Once they're marked, we can break through their access protocols and get at the good stuff inside. We just have to find them first, hence me moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly, a smile grows across his face. Wait, I have an idea. Oh no. Look, I can't cover enough of the low end on my own, and so far, I've had no matches in this place. With 2 of us, we can cover more ground. What am I getting into? Well, Fang has a hangdog look. We need to get you out and about in the low end, in close proximity to as many people and residences as possible. And it turns out my friend Minji needs some help with deliveries. As in Minji Express? So you already know him, perfect! Fang places a tiny receiver on the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marking protocol if you get near any of our targets. So all you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Minji, and soon enough we'll have this place covered. No. Wait. He glances around. Don't give me that. You think I like working here? And I thought you could use the tips. We're in this together, right? Are we? Yes! You think Hardin is happy to have you wandering around the place? He might have let you wander off for now, but I'm sure he has his eyes on you. This is on you, too. Fang slips his slate back under his clothes. Just head on up to Minji Express and take a delivery shift, and we'll see what shakes up. You manage to find anyone and extract any data, bring it right down here to me. They have me on double shifts, so it shouldn't be hard to find. Jenna walks past carrying a tray of drinks and sharply catches Fang's eye. I don't think she's bringing your drink. He stands. I think it's time we called this meeting to a close. You grab the receiver from the table and slip it into a pocket. See you soon, sleeper. Stay safe, Fang adds before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. Fang, you fucking asshole. But yeah, this is our sleeper character. We're a synthetic person with the dreams of a living person that's been copied onto this. And we've run away from our corporate handlers. Alright, we are straight up out of dice. Let's go back to bed. Oh, we're breaking again, damn it. 4411. Express delivery. I guess we get paid for this. I'll throw my 4s into it. Fang, I kinda hate you. A shortcut across the bridgeway means 3 happy customers and 3 big tips. You start to understand the makeshift unit markings. You'll have to deliver noodles to half of the low end before you can get a proper fix on Hardin's collaborators. Greetings, snoozers. Welcome in, Myth. Ooh, I want a robot whose only memories are literally dreams. That would be a fucked up nightmare character. Yeah, it would. That's awesome. Especially if they're contradictory dreams. That would be even better. That's a really cool idea. I like that a lot. Wow, I re-rolled a 1 and a 1 into a 1 and a 2. Fuck me, I guess. I'm gonna fucking kill Fang. Myth, we trapped Killer in a perpetual loop in the eye. We are now safe in the digital sphere to do anything we want. We still need $150 though before we can fucking get into the Greenway over there. Though we have some data to get into it once we do get over there from Navigator. Oracle archetype in a Shadowrunny setting? Yeah. I really want to do a Shadowrun one of these days. I've never actually played Shadowrun except for the RPGs. I really like the RPGs, but 2 Havenage data, which I could sell for some money. Can I put a 1? No. Oh, you're Yadigan. I don't super care about Yadigan data. Unless I can, like, white hat them and give it back to them, but I suspect that that's not gonna be the case. Oh, and Rabia is offering us jobs now, for Yatagan. So we are patrolling the area around that. We've already sunk so much into fucking Fang's dipshit runs. I think we need to see this through. Hopefully he takes out our stupid tracking device. Eventually. He's really screwing us on this one, and it's... oh, dear. Hunky. Get some mushrooms. Alright. Oh boy, and Dragos's clock is about to fire here, so I'm really worried about what's gonna happen there. I think things are gonna get a little messy here. Good dice, though. That's nice to see. Drive failed. The moment you get into the yard, Dragos leads you over to the office. He doesn't say much, but you get the feeling he has been here for a while waiting for you to come in. He opens the door and nods for you to come inside. He clears his throat. We've been through a lot, you and I. I appreciate that. But when I pulled you out of that wreck, I told you not to stick around. You've helped me in the yard, back on our feet, but I can't be soft any longer. He stuffs his hands in his overall pockets and pulls out a stack of chits. What's going on here? Just take it. Dragos presses the chits into your hand. I've done well by you and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat, and you realize he has prepared what he is about to say. These chits are for you to take and do what you will with them. They are from me, and they are the last I am going to give you. He pauses. There is no more work for a sleeper in this yard. He folds his arms. I am sorry, but that's it. You stay in the container as long as you need, but the yard is done with you. He turns away to his terminal. What do you mean? Don't press me, Sleeper. This is for your own good. The glassy apertures on Dragos' headset betray no emotion. You need to stay away, Sleeper. He pauses, considering his words. Trouble is going to follow you here. Trust me. What do you know? Dragos kicks at the floor, frustrated with himself. I'll not be saying any more, Sleeper. Dragos suddenly grabs you by the shoulder and drags you out of the office into the yard. He turns you to face a stack of pieces from the winter light, dissected, cut down, totally unrecognizable as a ship. You came through that, Sleeper. That should have been you, chopped and stacked. His hand trembles on your shoulder. That is what happens here. We cut down broken machines and move them on. Well, I didn't cut you down, but I'm sure as hell moving you on. Moving you on before whoever killed that ship out there comes to kill me. What do you mean? He shakes his head. These ships, they didn't get decommissioned. They didn't break down in dry dock. You think they'd look like that if they did? Someone ended them. That means someone tried to end you, Sleeper. And I'm done waiting for them to turn up. We've had our fun. Now it's time. He gives you a little shove. Go on. He turns and walks back to the office. That's it! He shouts and goes inside. The silence hangs in the air, and you leave with your pockets filled with clinking chits and a strangely hollow feeling in your chest. Well, no more working at Dragos' yard, but I was worried that we were gonna get kicked out of the fucking container. Oh, we've got an active scene going? Oh, we do. Oh, this bitch is fucking back. Well, I cosplayed it for a reason. The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stool in the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. Leave. This is ridiculous. You go to turn, but Ethan calls out, Sleeper! He turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take their chits. Stay silent. The bartender ignores Ethan. It seems they've cut him off. Hey! He slams a hand on the bar. Come take the chits! The bartender ignores him. Ethan lets out a huge sigh, rubbing his eyes with his palms. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters on the bar and falls to the floor, bouncing on the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan, and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back. If you would. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. I'm gonna point the gun at Ethan. Fuck you. Ethan turns his head in your direction a little, a sharp, pale eye locking with yours. The bartender backs away. Oh. He turns to the stool. Oh, Sleeper. He stands. This is more like it. I'm not gonna shoot him dead immediately. You hold the gun steady, training it on his head. Ethan smiles, like the dog that caught the car. He turns to the bartender and mock whispers, I'm not entirely sure they know what to do with it. Wait. You keep the gun on Ethan. Ethan smiles at the bartender. Oh well, he says, and he grabs the gun, slamming it back into your face in a single move. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters onto a surface. The hit's a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps the slate. No more playing. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, his breath heavy with drink. S&OP just screwed me. He grins maniacally. They canceled the contract. He stands up. They canceled the contract! He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards him. Towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. I'll kill all of you! He screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. I'll be back for that, he shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the bright market looking for Ethan around every corner. Don't bitch. Ethan may be disarmed, but you doubt you've seen the last of him. Stupid bitch. Alright, I guess back doing the fucking deliveries for Fang's dumbass. Can I upgrade? I'm gonna upgrade my engage. Chance to gain energy after any engage action. Having any energy coming back in would be very nice, I think. One more. Good enough. Somehow you find all of the units you're supposed to be delivering to, but not without cutting back on yourself multiple times. Sleeper! You see Feng coming up the corridor as you step out of Minji's, the kelp noodle smell still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. I don't have long. Take these. Feng palms you a couple of those metal thumbnail-sized drives. Ripper worms. My slate's been buzzing like crazy. It seems your delivery shifts have turned up 2 targets. I knew you could do it. He squeezes your shoulder. Now we nail down those snakes. What do we do? Hardin's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break access to the protocols on both of them, and you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the Ripper worms in those ports, 1 each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored on Hardin's shadow network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Minji. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Feng is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell, and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny Ripperworm drives in your pocket, and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. Would you love me if I were a Ripperworm? Alright, Hardin agents are what we're looking for. A 5 and a 3. A 6 and a 4. Ugh. The security protocols on this agent are serious stuff. What are Hardin's collaborators up to? Hardin port has been unlocked. Slotting the Ripperworm means a whole load of data on Hardin's activities for Feng. The worm begins tearing through the data cache, spinning out a thread to Feng's terminal. Okay. Okay. We're making it back a little bit. Ooh, and we almost have enough money to make it to the Greenway now. We have 135. We need 15 more cryo and we can make it to the Greenway. We're starving again. That's okay. You know what? I'm gonna do a patrol. Oh no, wait! I wanted that 5. Ah, damn. Well, you help a dentist running a surgery from their unit with their equipment. They offer you a restorative infusion, and you feel better immediately. Well, at least now I don't need to buy food. What do I need for you? A 5 and a 3. Damn it. Why did I spend my 5? Fuck. Oh well. Okay. We work for Yadigan. Might be able to just make money. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a 6 down in the Tavla room and buy my way into the Greenway. That's a good way to start our day. I need to get some money for some stabilizer soon, though. To reach the Greenway, you need to pay for a pass, a practice invented by the spacers moored here. They call it the Founder's Ferry. Okay, extortionists. A heavily tattooed spacer takes your chits and tells you to prepare. She'll be waiting at the edge for your arrival. Alright, into the Greenway. Take the ferry across to the Founder's Gap to the Greenway. As you step out into the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down a corridor. You turn to see an unfamiliar spacer laden with some heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring down at you as if daring you to respond. Hey, girl! Excuse me? She squints at you, shaking her head before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. It's not a problem. They smile. Oh, sweet. Peek! Esh stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to what end she's rushing to. Peek raises their eyebrows. Esh, please. We want everyone on the station to hate us. Esh hardens. They want to hate us, they can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up that damn cordon. Don't interrupt. Peek sighs. The station isn't Hawthorne. Everyone isn't yoked to the same corporate protocols. Esh sighs. I'm not saying they're part of the administration. She jerks her head in your direction. But I am saying we need to get these supplies before... We need to get these supplies to the Briar before someone comes and starts asking questions. Can I help? Peek smiles slyly. See, Esh? Help. Isn't that exactly what we need right now? Peek. Esh rolls her eyes. Peek ignores her. We are with the refugees, the ones Havenage have cordoned off from entering the station. Esh interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined into makeshift vessels that barely made it to the Eye to begin with. The ones that your station administration have called an existential risk and are running out of supplies while their right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Peek sighs. She's right. People are trapped out here. And they turn to Esh. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Esh interrupting, but Esh turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. Close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. Peak finishes. It's difficult. Peak forces a smile. Peak, please. Esh gathers herself in the supplies. Esh, we need help. Just like the refugees needed us, we need others too. They smile at her. Peak turns to you. Come find us. Climbing briars docked at the broken spoke past the greenway in the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Esh turns to leave and Peak follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Esh shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corridor, Esh already picking up speed as Peak calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from? Why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. My oh my. The Greenway, the Haifa Commune, the Wastes, the Climbing Briar, and nothing. Digitally, ooh. That will give us the Greenway access we need. So we don't have any access to this yet. We'll do this. The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? The cipher burns away as it is slotted, the data sparking, lit like a lit touch paper. What has been unlocked? The Greenway roils beneath you like a silt-choked river. If what Navigator said is true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. Bye, Ava. Welcome in for a brief second, and good luck. Have fun. I'll kick a rage your way when we're done, and hope you have a good time with the this is still the Magnus Archives game, yeah? Good luck not getting possessed. Or, good luck getting possessed, because that sounds way more fun. If what Navigator said is true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The Hunter and Killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligence and systems. So, why then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just that the bit rot has set in, the entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light? She's prone to it, so it may happen. Hey, ride the wave. Fuck it. If you get possessed by a ghost, use it. You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles in the open, distorted gateway on this entire rim of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you are falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by the substance. This process, this swarm. Now you are among it. You notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. 1 billion individuals moving in a flow. There is no network map here, no nodes and thread, only a storm of interchangeable points shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them, a figure turned away, the only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. Ooh! They are facing away. At least, you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown that it is hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see that their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch silent as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape with twisted fingers. They press it down to the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through the trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process, as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There is a glassy, shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It is cold, but it thrums with energy. You look toward the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink out of the cloud, back to the leaves and the dappled light of the greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. Oh yeah? Well, that was super normal. Did I just pull? I pulled a seed out of a digital space somehow. Fascinating. Let's explore the Greenway a little bit. Exploring the Greenway is unlike any other place on the Eye. Its overgrown chambers defy mapping. Sounds legit. I've watched Digimon. I haven't. Is that a thing? Can you just pull data out and make it like a physical thing in Digimon? I certainly encountered, I think, a Digigod. Hey. Ooh, we have access to the farm stacks. Oh yeah, all the time? Okay. I could steal the harvest, work the stacks, or barter for food. I don't think I'm gonna steal yet. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take a nap. I really need to get back to playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I really liked what I played of it, but I burned out on it. All right, our starving, flickering form. Still don't have a 5 or a 3 to hack that one guy. But for those of you who've been around, we run a mid-roll ad in order to keep pre-roll ads off because I don't like them, and I don't think many people do. But that does mean that we need to take a 3-minute ad break real quick, go get a drink of water, use the restroom, grab a snack, do whatever you need to do. I'll be hanging out here, and we will resume in a few minutes. Folks are liking Citizen Sleeper. I really enjoy this game, and I think it's a cool thing. So I figured, Myth, you're enjoying it because you said you came back and bought the game immediately afterwards, so that's something. I'm just having a good time with it in general, though. I love a good Taurus habitat. I love a good space station. I love a good fucking weird place. It's really cool. Ads on mobile, but not on PS5. That's weird. Oh, wonder why that is. Because I can't imagine you have like an ad blocker on your PS5. Fuck, I'm tired. So I think I'm gonna do Citizen Sleeper 2 after this. I'm just gonna dovetail them into one another. Maybe it doesn't send ads twice to the same account. That would be interesting. I wonder. Maybe you just got lucky and I feel like sometimes things run ads and they just don't fire for some reason. Who knows? I don't know what I want to go to after Citizen Sleeper, though, is what I'm thinking. And I'm trying to think of some stuff. I know I was thinking the House of Fata Morgana. But I'm not sure what I want to push past that. If I want to do that too, that's going to be another major visual novel thing like Chrono Jotter was. I think actually longer than Chrono Jotter. But I love a good fucky mystery. Mr. Executive Producer? Nope, the executive producer has left. I heard him moving around in here. He's got a big beanbag that he sleeps on in here. All right, ads is done. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a good ad. What the fuck am I saying? That was moronic. Okay, let's go back to... Let's work with Rabia. I liked Rabia. I wanna spend more time with Rabia. Let's collect tithes, work with Yatagan. One mechanic tithes a new filtration system for the block's atrium, and after you help install it, he offers you some of the remaining scrap. Let's re-roll these. Still not a 5 or a 3. Are you kidding me? How frustrating. Okay. You help a destitute man to the Tambor kitchens where they feed him freely. You stay behind with the chefs and sample the dishes. Wow, this is a big clock that we have to build up. Unless this is opening up. No, it's not. Wow, this is a hell of a clock, because it seemed to only increase by 1, even on positive actions. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 action clock. Wow. Oh shit, I need money. 24 cryo. Is that gonna be my best money outcome? God bless predictive reasoning. Also, seeing what your rewards are gonna be is really helpful. 16 cryo. That's not great. I don't think this will give me any cryo at all. This will let me join what looks to be a cult. Hippie commune. Wastes. I get scrap. Oh, I need +1 endure to be able to even go out here. Okay. And then these 3. Need trolls. Welcome to Episode Flux. Episode Flux is the first of 3 episodic updates to Citizen Sleeper, telling the story of the refugee flotilla, which has arrived at the Eye. All 3 episodes, Flux, Refuge, and Purge, are now available. Completing the supply Girol's action will begin the episode, but be aware that this is intended for late game play. Okay, we'll come back to them later. Biggest clock I've seen so far is the colony ship rebuilding. That makes sense. I mean, it's a fucking colony ship. Like, that's gonna be an enormous undertaking. I didn't feel like patrolling low end with some gangbangers was gonna take 12 actions. Alright, let's go try to win money at the gambling den. And sell this scrap, I think. Neutral outcome, damn it. After a good start, you lose your focus, blocked by an older woman with incredible precision. You leave soon after, keeping some winnings. Damn. Yeah, I gotta buy that fungi. I need the fungi. I need a lot of things. I need the fungi, I need the spores, I need everything. But right now, oh shit, I'm gonna lose another die again because I couldn't get the stabilizer. Stabilizer. This is still not a 3 or a 5. Bro, are you kidding me with this right now? I have been looking for a 3 and a 5 for 3 fucking cycles. This is ridiculous. I gotta get the stabilizer back. I need those extra actions. Can I win a coin flip? Thank you. Good lord. Right? Video games are so realistic they can replicate my luck in real life. Roll around the fungus field, get your joints full of spores. Perfect. God, I'm gonna starve today, I guess. Can I get food anywhere for 7 cryo? Joints full of spores. It's just being in your 30s fucking mood. Do you have food? Can I get it for 7 cryo? No, you don't have food. I can just work here. Do nothing. Memphis is 15. Minji Express is... I need to die. I need to die. Nope, I'm just starving. We're just gonna starve. Awesome. I still don't have a 5 or a 3. A 3! Finally, I can finish Feng's stupid fucking thing. Good God, I have the worst rest of my dice, but whatever. Probably gonna need to wait for these ripper worms to go anyway, so. The worm makes a little nest among the agent's data. Enjoy your stay, little friend. As you walk into Tambor, you quickly spot Feng arguing with Jenna. Keep your distance. It doesn't look good. Feng seems to be explaining something, but Jenna is having none of it. She points to the door and Feng walks away, catching your eye as he turns. Could have done with you getting here a minute or so ago. He glances back at Jenna. Well, either way, it looks like I'm fired. Good news is that it doesn't look like I need the job anyway. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now, let's take a look at what you are really here for. The slate is a whirring mess of code streams coming direct from the Ripper worms as they dig through the agent's data and spin it into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Feng scrolls through the display with a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dull as hell message threads, a lot of tedious data caches, but Feng's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Feng shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway. Feng says he's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Feng nods. He's been speaking with them personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn it, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait, what's this? A wasteland reclamation facility. Right here on the eye. He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? Conway are set up here? I'm guessing so. Got themselves set up in the wastes. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub, but that spoke's broken now, so the only way is is the long way around the rim past the greenway. He shows you on his slate. Feng looks away, thinking. Conway have been making moves on this system since the collapse. I heard they took over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while back, moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock. What's their angle? Hardin has to be offering them something. Feng looks back at the screen. But if Hardin is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. It's a wild goose chase. Yeah, maybe it is. Feng slides the slate away. But what do we got to lose? Feng looks up at you. Hardin was a Solheim executive. That's not something you just walk away from. People like that don't change. You don't make your money from exploiting the most vulnerable people in the system one day and then flip to their side the next. I'm not about to drop this. He pinged these guys the moment he was found out, and they started prattling on about this Conway facility. The way I see it, Feng stares out into the middle distance. We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Hardin has been planning, has to be there. And we're gonna catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and then I'll see you on the greenway. I seem to remember that there's some old service docks on the outer shell up by the Haifa building. Should be a good place to meet. Feng squeezes your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about that tracker of yours either, but I'm gonna need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a mass of scrolling code. I've been working on a fix in my brakes. He winks. Feng grins. See you soon, Sleeper. And he walks out the door of the timbre without looking back. Feng, you're kind of a bitch, man. Really frustrating. You told me you would help me with this fucking thing weeks ago. Just been stringing me along! Refill my coffee. Oh boy. It's bad. I need to get around to playing Red Dead 2 at some point. Oh. I didn't expect to be stopped by something halfway through it. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through the low end, a chirruping catches your attention. In a quiet corridor away from the main thoroughfares, someone has stuck up a small recorder to the wall with a suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word: Sleeper. Have I played Disco Elysium? Oh yeah, no, I adore Disco Elysium. Gorgeous game, beautiful thing. Doesn't work for what I'm aiming for with, more narration and stuff like that, because most of it is voiced at this point, but I fucking love Disco Elysium. One of my top games. Fantastic thing. It's really meaningful, it's really interesting. I desperately want to learn more about the Pale, but we're never going to because Zalm was killed by capitalists. Really sucks that their whole studio got gutted. You peel it away from the wall as you do. It triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. Sleeper. Sabine's voice cracks through. I have seen you with the Yadigan members. Are they holding you captive now too? A high whine. I am sorry if I have dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang, some kind of power struggle. You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor. I will come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I have located most of their properties. At the right time, a pause. I will see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. The recording cuts out. You stare at the recorder, processing what you have just heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside of you, an S&ARP employee. They know that I know. You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor, still unsure who to trust, and head quietly out of the low end. Yeah, if you look up the story about what happened with Zalm, it's actually kind of sad because, like, they just got bought up and then boxed out by capitalists who wanted to milk their property for more and more money, which is, like, the exact opposite of pretty much the entire ethos of Disco Elysium. But Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun. What do I do with 2 1s? Oh, maybe I go back and explore more of the Greenway. Why is it that you always have to wait for Fang? When is he going to be the one waiting for you? God, these 2 1s are bad. Maybe I'll build up some feeling with the commune here. Good enough. Oh, cool, and I got an energy back from that. That's awesome. Great. I got a new... What? Where did I get a new... drive? Enter the Greenway. Huh. Maybe that was an old notification that didn't pop up. I don't see what I actually completed or was new. Whatever. Okay, back to sleep. And this time we won't starve. How many more days do we have until dipshit? We got 4 days until that dumbass comes reckoning back. One, 2, 5, 2, 1. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Alright, I want to explore more of the base Greenway at this point. The simplest way to explore the Greenway is simply pick a path and set off in its twisting chambers and passageways. But this carries obvious risk. I lost energy for that? Rude. Mushrooms! I can get Girol caps or Grove spores! Hell yes. The aviary, I could clear overgrowth and turn this into a garden of sorts. That's probably where I'm gonna plant the seed, right? Okay. I'm gonna try to get some spores. I need one more. Do I spend my 6 on that? Do I spend my 6 on clearing this overgrowth? Because I do want to keep going with the weird free AI stories because I'm an easy mark. But I don't have like anything. So I'm gonna go back to low end. And I'm actually gonna use the 6 on gambling. Because it's just a guaranteed big win. Okay. There's really no point to giving Tala only 2 spores, so I'm just gonna sit on that. are starving. Not the best. Let's win another pile of money. Then get back to the Greenway. All right. Let's spend the 5 here and get some droll caps. Let's spend the 4 here and get 1 more spore. Reroll the 1 into a fat 2. Take these spores back to Tala. They're so cute, says Tala, looking at the container of spores. Her excitement is infectious. Tala has locked herself away in the back room while she focuses on the distilling. She won't let anyone in or out. I'm gonna keep patrolling the ward with Rabia. Nice! Got a bunch of free energy. Don't need to pay for it. Hell yes. Alright. Quick and easy day. Get some spores. Set up a mushroom garden. Win some gambling. Get out of debt. Oh! 6566! Ah! Incredible rolls. It had to happen one of these days, folks. I need another thing of stabilizer soon, so... After that, I actually think I'm just gonna sink all 3 of these 6s into making this near functional. Layers and layers of rotten mulch come away from the corroded metal, and among it you find, pale and delicate, you find a bird's skull. Once a corporate garden for impressing guests with gene-tweaked birds, now this chamber is a mess of overgrowth. You can change that. One more good roll, and we are good to go with that one. A lot of our clocks right now don't really have anything going on in them. We're just sort of waiting for things to happen. Is this... Alright, that shit show's going on tomorrow. Great. I guess let's handle the Ethan situation. This fucking asshole. You miss me? Ethan smiles a ragged smile at you. Oh, you're looking like shit, dude. Ethan follows along, and you notice he is limping. Come on, sleeper. Just a little joke. I know you have a sense of humor. You look at him. He's paler than usual. Punched. He's sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. That's no way to greet an old friend. Get lost. Ethan's face drops along with all pretense of friendliness. I think you'll want to hear this, sleeper. I think, he says, rapidly shaking his head. You'll really want to hear this. I doubt it. Ethan ignores you. This is big. Really big stuff. About you? He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. He didn't die yet, but he's looking like shit. I had the opportunity to shoot him in the face in the bar, but I didn't want to just straight up kill a man in front of a bunch of witnesses. You remember how SNRP canceled the contract on you? The contract I was going to collect? Seriously, Ethan? Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed? Me? I lost everything, but let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. And so what do you think? What did you think? That was it? Stay silent. Well, it was. Except... Ethan leaves a dramatic pause. What if old SNOP gave the bounty to someone else? Someone who is even more of a shithead than yours truly. He smiles darkly. What a disaster that would be. You're bluffing. Sure, you could think that. But then you'll wake up, or not, with a bullet in your head one of these cycles. And if you could think, which you won't be able to because of the bullet, you'd be thinking, oh, I wish I'd listened to Ethan. He grins. Ethan fishes around in his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down. And it turns out SNR canceled all their bounty contracts, the whole lot. Seems they've brought someone in-house. Some guy who did so well on the last contract they got offered a job. He leans in. Apparently, he made a hit on this ship called the Winter Wonderland or something. The Winter Light, perhaps. Was smuggling sleepers out from under SNOP's corporate nose. He killed the crew and blew the ship. Ethan whistles. They call him Hemwick or Maywick or something. He gives up looking for the paper. I forget. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm your friend, Ethan says, looking you in the eye. And friends help each other out. Ethan runs his hands through his greasy hair. Given this new information I brought to light, it seems like you are in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. Turns out I upset some people at the compressor the last time we were there, the owners. And they said they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they are that kind of business. He grimaces. I would pay them, but... He shrugs and turns his jacket pockets inside out in a mime of poverty. He looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish acting. Then work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now, that I came here and told you this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You are a contract, a name on a list. He kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he hisses. I'm sorry for being such a shit, trying to kill you, and whacking that thick skull of yours. He sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy? But us? He jabs a finger between the two of you. We don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed, and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other, a straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favor. I'll think about it. Ethan nods. I'm at the compressor every cycle, working. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed SNR shit on his way here from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you all the motivation you need. Ethan swaggers down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. Bud, let me tell you about a much scarier, much hotter woman I'm on the in with right now, who is probably much more dangerous than you. Ethan, you're a bitch, and I hope you die on this station. Speaking of, let's go do some more work for Rabia. Get some free energy while we're at it. That's a lot of threes. Go see if we can get lucky on that Greenway prospect. There is no chance in hell I am taking Ethan up on his offer, though. Hey, there we go. Lucky. Germinate spore. Oh, I don't plant the seed here? Really? The old growth of the aviary has created a rich medium in which you can place the spores from the groves. They'll grow well here. Man, I don't want to get more spores. That's so many actions, dude. Alright, I'm gonna go back to making friends with a gang who can hopefully keep me from dying. Not great. Good enough. Need 2 more. Oh. Ethan says Maywick is on their way. You'll need to leave the station, get protection, or disable your tracker before they arrive. Well, I've got a line on 2 of those. Technically 3 if I'm desperate and want to use Ethan, but I think I'd rather die. Looks like it's maybe about 2 weeks, give or take. Yeah, I'm not paying off. Ethan's dead. Get fucked. Get some more free energy. And then 1 more and we become a Yadigan insider. Perfect. Let's go chat with Rabia. This time, you meet inside Rabia's office. Although, now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realize she is missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. Updates, she says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Of course. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing to the 2 diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight back. Gia told me you have been doing the rounds, collecting tithes, patrolling the wards. She smiles. Some enforcers are really impressed. And I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I wanted to see for myself. She raises an eyebrow. See what? For yourself. If I can trust you. I see. Rabia flexes her neck side to side. And conclusion? I think I can. She's honestly been a pretty straight shooter with me so far. Rabia nods. Thank you. She closes her eyes for a moment. I hope you can see how things work here now. A strong Yatigan means a strong low end, and both are woven into each other. I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here on onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That is why you have come to us. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I am tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Rabia looks between the 2 of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you 2? She looks strangely unfazed. No, they're acting alone. Sabine pauses, thrown off for a moment by your enunciation. Rabia takes this opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inward. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to their knees. Excuse me. She pushes Sabine to their knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton toward their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. Stay silent. Sleeper! Sabine calls out, desperate. You are short on allies, Sabine. Rabia gloats. Perhaps even you understand this foolish crusade will be our end by now. Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she is about to hammer it down on Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. Now what? They both look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about your presence. Rabia cracks her neck. You are lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right. Every right! She shouts, the anger a release of tension, more than a threat. Sabine lifts themselves a little, bruised from the fall. They roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props themselves up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabia taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, she laughs. No coming back. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the great Yataghan project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually, they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. But she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from SNR, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you, Sleeper. They take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for SNR long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you are my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNR because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on for the press. SNR wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The Sleeper knows you are SNR. I told them, and while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It is true. They glance at you, and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it is Yannick. Wrong voice. But it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNR. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake! In exchange for those. Sabine nods towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in a cradle. He's been using Yataghan enforcers, using you as test subjects for SNR technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabia's fixed expression started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data. Failure errors. Failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought this error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I have tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifests and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye and something passes between you. Something like a thank you or a sorry or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Rabia and Sabine have been holed up in her office for a while now. What are they planning? Okay, 3 more cycles and I've got that going. One more day until Feng's thing. I guess let's start working the commune a little bit more. Because these are safe. And I think I need to be friends with them now to deal with Gardener's Seed. But do I want... You know what, I'm gonna save and become an incredibly good hacker with a +2 to it. That's my plan. Later. Gotta sleep first. My bones are breaking. I'm gonna bar shift real quick with that one. That's enough. Buy a stabilizer. Go back to the house. Use the stabilizer. Pop us back up. And now we've got 2 6s. Oh, I could do more low-end stuff. I haven't finished this. What else can I unlock in low-end? Actually, no. No. Stay focused. Let's go figure out what the deal with this data is. I want to know more about that weird thing. Oh, right, Feng's ready now. When you enter the service dock, Feng is already set up, crouched among stacks of equipment. He is leaning over a terminal, bathed in a blue glow. He looks totally at home. Sleeper, what do you think? Turns out not everyone in Havenage is set against me. A couple of my old systems pals managed to ship me some of my old gear. He gestures at the pile of blinking hardware. Nice kit. Feng does a mock bow. Any updates? Feng beckons you over. He has a set of scans on the wastes on his terminal with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange marks. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Feng shakes his head. There's hundreds of Conway machines out there, all lined up in concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility to support them. Hardin has got a crew out there putting them together. They must have shipped them in piece by piece through the shipyard, ready for assembly out here. Why? They are planning something. No one needs hundreds of heavy-duty reclamation drones to run this kind of operation. Maybe Hardin masked this whole thing as an effort to clean up the wastes, but there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye. Feng looks worried. Why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Havenage knows another corporation is setting up on the station. They aren't stupid either. These scans are the best info I can get. The wastes are cut off from the eye's cloud of networks, and the Greenway is a total dark zone. No data can come in or out. I can try. No use. You need to enter the cloud, and there's no cloud to speak of. He turns and winks. That's why I'm gonna pay them a visit. Too risky. You forget? Havenage comes in and out of there all cycle. I should be able to get in. As long as no one I know sees me. He grimaces playfully. But I need you on the outside to help disable security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but if I can get inside, I can open up nodes in their network and we can work in tandem. It's a massive facility buried deep down there. Miles of corridor and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars, so it'll take more than a few cycles to work through it. But as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what we need out of there. He pulls a handful of ripper worms from his pocket and hands them to you. These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. I modified them slightly. This time they'll feed the data threads back into the system that they are tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. We run it just like we did with the agents. Hack the nodes I ping to locate the ports for the security systems, and slot the worms into those systems and let them go to town. He points to a fuzzy silhouette of the buried facility on the terminal. Here's the entryway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. That'll fry their perimeter security systems and get me past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank, you need to break in and slot a Ripper to disable it as soon as you can. If I can't, Feng gives you a hard look. You miss a system, you wait too long, they're gonna find me. Simple as that. He clasps you on the shoulder. I need you focused on this one, so I'm gonna let you fire the starting gun. I won't go until you slot that first worm. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see my progress. He affectionately pats the top of the screen. Got it? Don't worry. You can run rings around their protocols, I've seen it. Feng gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations and then slot that worm. He stretches. Just don't wait too long. Getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing. No matter what. He crouches to check the terminal. We can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing. Remember that. He stands up. Oh, and one last thing. He lowers his voice. If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. What? Take whatever I have managed to pull at that point, all that data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here. He points into a pile of servers and terminals hooked into the dock with cables as thick as your arm. I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam out whatever you put in it. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Havenage, Yadigan, the hub, everyone. No matter what, Hardin isn't snaking away this time. He grins. Welcome to another exciting episode of Slot That Worm! I've got a bit more to do here, but the moment you slot that first worm, I'll make my move. He gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. The nerves hit as you make your way out of the service dock. Time to prepare yourself. Oh yeah. All right. Let's finish working at the cult. We are now a professional interfacer. Oh. You head down into the Haifa compound, following a blue painted line that is labeled Laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you that they'd asked to see you, but you still have no idea what about. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow-green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing at a lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary. She smiles. Come, let's talk, she says, and beckons you closer. Who are you? Of course, my apologies. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. Botany program? Yes, the plants in the Greenway are vital to Haifa's continued existence. It's important we understand them. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Haifa lives off the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, it's a kind of miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think happens to plants on stations like this when they're abandoned? They die? Eventually, yes, they cannot live without intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads, but here, they endured. She smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they're taking control of this place. Our guests on this episode are good friend Feng, the famed Witch Queen Savathun, and of course, all the way from Baldur's Gate, the Emperor! I love it, vibes. Incredible. Really good. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlin himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agriculture systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet here we are, among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch. But we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet too, a rarity on the Eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roofs and gathers on the shiny, broad leaves of the shrub. How? That is exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways, the system is stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us, or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Me? Yes, you. Rico sits on a railing. These halls run deep, sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardy beings, I know that much, and you can speak to the Eye, uncover its secrets in a way I never can. She holds out an arm so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they are found, the better. I'll try. Thank you. And thank you for listening. I think I know who's been maintaining this garden. Yeah. Rico leads you back out the huge chamber and up through the passageways. She is a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made. And you follow the blue line back up out of the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible, magical green. Oh, I can live in Haifa now! I can sleep in the commune! They let me have a room! Hell yeah! Rico needs spores. Alright. Well, I mean, I'm in the commune, time to nap. But I think we're gonna delve more mysteries into the Greenway next time, as it is about that time to wrap things up here. As always, I wanted to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out. I always appreciate it. I hope you're having a good time going through Citizen Sleeper with me. I really love this little funky space station. I'm a big sucker for kind of pretty mundane sci-fi stuff. Just people living their lives in sci-fi transhumanist future is a narrative that I always really enjoy. So, thank you all for coming with me on it. I'm really looking forward to getting a start on Citizen Sleeper 2 once we get through this one. And yeah, as always, I'm going to this time start a raid. Now that I sort of know how to do that, I did it once before, but I am going to kick you guys over again this week to the Sword and Key tabletop RPG channel. Good friend of mine and a good member of the community here is a player on that stream. They are doing a Magnus Archives tabletop RPG. So if you are interested, you can head on in and take a look as I am scrambling to find the raid system. Here we go. How do I raid? Raid settings. Oh, I almost had it a second ago. Raid, browser, sort, filter, sword and key. Perfect. Start a raid here. So hop on over, show them some love. Ava is a lovely player in the lower right, great friend, and I love the things that she's doing over there. So I'm gonna kick you guys on over and stick around or you know, do whatever you wish. But I think these people are definitely worth your attention as well. So I will see you all over there in a moment, and take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you want to help support me in making more of this, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream these live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I suspect you all know how this works by now, but it really does help a lot. Thanks.